welcome to Authentic Parenting. I am TanYah from TanYah Global, and for over 25 years now, I've been working with youth from every background. Many of them from some of the hardest places and spaces. But in all that time, I can remember one or two cases, but I've rarely had a young person that I wasn't able to support them becoming empowered and helping them to transition better. And so from all of that work, I have heard many stories about parents, many stories about parenting relationships, and being a mother of four myself with four different groups of millennials, from Alpha back up to the eldest millennials, and being a Gen X myself, it's been quite a journey. And I've decided to share this journey with you using some youth development principles and practices, and hoping that you'll be able to master millennial teen relationships and just to have a better experience in your home in terms of looking at the family as an evolving system. And so this is an abbreviated version of a full course that you can find, and the information is in the details. But let's begin. So why authentic parenting, right? So we're great with other people's kids, but when it comes to our own, sometimes we tend to be really tested. So I'm one of those moms, all your kids' friends, they're like, oh, wow, you have a super cool mom. But when you're at home, it's a challenge. It's a challenge because I'm a person. I'm not just a mother. I'm a person. I'm a generational person. So I'm a Gen X. I have trends from my own generation that shaped me. I am Caribbean. I'm Jamaican. I have a lot of other different identities that my children are not necessarily familiar with and don't necessarily know. And so it's always going to be a challenge. Parenting is a journey. And the biggest part of that journey is that it's a journey of growth, not control. Because when your children reach a certain age that you are no longer able to dominate them, then that's when respect is needed. But I would say let's put respect from the very beginning, and let's model respect, and let's model growth and evolution, and let's have a relationship with our children, because we are more than mothers and fathers or guardians. We are who we are. I am TanYah. I'm TanYah Global. And so that's what authentic parenting is all about. There are three pillars to authentic parenting. There's the parent as the learner. And this can be very difficult for parents because the role of parents is you're in control. You're the most responsible party. You're paying the bills, you are providing. And so sometimes it's hard to see ourselves as learners. But we are a learner in this thing called life. We are a learner on the journey of life. And so parent as learner is very important. Why? Because teen or millennial is teacher. They understand more about their generation than we could possibly understand. And so they're experts, and we want to learn from the experts. And that's pretty much what we do in youth development as well. We have some intentional goals that we want to achieve, yes, but we also want to learn. And it's through learning that we build relationship and build trust and have an authentic experience. And then the third pillar is family as an evolving system. So family is not static, or they're not supposed to be. And if your family is static and you've been the same way and we've done the same things for 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years, then that's a problem, because families are what I call an evolving system. So they are filled with different components of values, tradition, culture, responsibilities, roles, and this is all growing and changing, especially as children coming into the family through whatever means, adoption, birth, are growing, and they become contributive parts of that family. And so that family system evolves, and it's supposed to be a positive evolution, as it's supposed to be a positive experience, right? So these are the three pillars of authentic parenting. And so it's hard sometimes as parents who are leaders to embrace the teens' direction. But as I said, teens are experts at being teens. They're experts at being youth in their generation, as we were in ours. And so we have to be able to listen to them without interrupting. We have to be able to ask ourselves, what's something we're really excited about, and what's something they're really excited about, and then try to understand why it is that this thing is so exciting, so that we can find some middle ground in sharing decisions, in having an inclusive way in which we parent. And it's not about giving up your power as a parent. No, it is about understanding that as your children grow, You would rather have influence than you would have power. And the truth is, when we talk about power dynamics, nobody should ever be happy about having power over anybody. We are always to have shared power. It's always the power to do and the power to be, but should never be the power over. And so embracing our team's direction can be a challenge for us, but with intentional effort, we are able to do that. And so if you sign up and you do our more extensive courses or you do our coaching, you will learn hands-on with support, with guidance and mentorship how to achieve this. But just being intentional now as to be able to listen more than you speak and not interrupt and actually listen, because I'm a parent who tends to zone out because I'm used to crying babies and moaning kids and so many people demanding me. I'm in youth development, so I've adopted kids and all kind of people coming into the home space. So I'm somebody who learns to zone out, but you can't zone out your kids. And the older that they get, they realize that that's actually what you're doing and they become quite offended. So I have to be intentional in my listening. We have to assess and adjust. Who is your teen? Like I said, automatically we don't know our kids, and our kids don't automatically know us. They know mother, right? Good or bad, they know mother, they know father, they know our roles, but they don't necessarily know who we are. We don't necessarily know who they are. So it takes some intentional effort and engagement to be able to get to know the members of our family beyond their roles. So we have to map family roles, and then we also have to map the tension. So who does what? Yes. Sometimes mother is in name but not action. Sometimes father actually acts more like mother, mother acts like father. So we have to be able to assess who does what, who is nurturing, who is providing, who is protecting, who is leading, all of these things, who is managing, and then where do the tensions arise in all of those roles and functions. Then we have to be able to make small changes. So we're not going to change our relationship with our millennials overnight. Trust me. That's a whole, we are dealing with whole generation and we're a generation. But what we can do is make small changes over time that will enhance the relationships we have with our millennial age children. What are the key takeaways from authentic parenting? We have to learn to evolve. So evolve yourself first. We always want to give opportunity to our children, and we want them to grow and we want them to become their best selves, which is really the best us because they're a combination of us. But we have to also be able to evolve because youth respond to evolving people. We have to be able to understand that respect is earned. And so when they are at a certain age of autonomy and independence, now what we do really matters, right? Our faults, and they're standing behind us. So they're seeing all of our faults. So we can't hide that. So we have to be able to understand that respect is learned. And oftentimes there are apologies that we have to give for the way we do things, which is not always the best way. And we always have to respect them so that we're modeling respect. Small shifts, big gains. So when we make these small changes and small shifts in how we interact with our millennials, sometimes they can have profound effects. And that's why we have to be intentional. Too often, as parents, we kind of just floating through the ride because there's so much tension, so much conflict, so much upheaval, so much demand, so much responsibility. So we're just kind of just trying to get through it. Let me get through it. Let me get through today. Let me get through this hour. Let me get through this time. But we have to be intentional. And so being intentional, we have to see where we have to adjust, we have to listen, we have to watch, we have to learn, we have to give them an opportunity to lead, give them opportunity to make decisions. And so we can have those big gains in time. We have to grow and build wealth. What we call wealth is not money. We call wealth, our family is our wealth. Our family is our resource. And when we start to evolve and our relationships with our millennials evolve, then we start to work on the system of the family. And when we work on the system of this evolving system, which is the family, we are then able to safeguard the things that are valuable to us, which is family. So that's why we say grow and build wealth. So in your own space, I want you to remember these questions. How do I react to frustration? Which is a lot of parents, we have a lot of frustration all the time. We have to zen and breathe because millennials and teenage children always seem to pull the last nerve. They're getting on my last nerve. The amount of last nerves I've had over the past 30 something years is not funny. So we have to be able to observe, go outside of ourselves and observe how we are reacting. And sometimes they'll tell you, so we have to listen. They will tell you, trust me. They're looking for all your faults. And so they will tell you because they're behind you. Sometimes they don't see our greatness, but they do see our mistakes behind us. So we have to ask how we react when we're frustrated, especially when dealing with them. What values do I want to model? What are the things that if I was to die tomorrow, I want my kids to really carry on? Is it integrity? Is it truth? Is it honesty? Is it peace? Is it love? Is it all of the above? So if I want them to carry that on, then I have to model that. So am I walking in peace or every 5 seconds, like me, sometimes you're shouting on the top of your lungs? And am I zen? Do they see me zenning? Do they see me meditating? That kind of thing. And where do I need to grow? So take some time, ask yourself these questions. Parenting, it has to be intentional. And building relationship with millennials has to be intentional because I smell fake a mile away. I always say that to parents when they come to me, oh, you having such good impact with them, because I have to be real. I have to be honest because they smell fake a mile away. And sometimes that's the biggest challenge that youth have with their parents is that you are a parent. That's your role. But who are you? Like they really don't know you and they get frustrated because they don't know, like, how did you become this person? Were you always fat? Were you always skinny? Were you always tall? Were you always short? Like, what was your childhood like? They want to know who you are because they weren't there in the evolution. And so they don't have that appreciation, but they want to because they really do love and respect you. They just need more. And so we have to model this growth. Young people respect people who they see changing and advancing. They'll compliment you. They see you trying to change your physical appearance, trying to change your health, trying to change your abilities in terms of technology. So they are looking, trust me, they're behind you, they're watching you. But what are you modeling? As I say, what values do you want them to learn from you? And they value somebody who is growing. And that's why they love TikTok and social media because they're getting all that information and learning all these new things. Imagine if they could learn new things by watching their parents. Imagine if they could learn new things in their home. That's how you become the biggest influencer. So it's good to learn a new skill or a habit because it's hard to break an old habit, but it's easy to develop a new habit that can override old habits, especially when those old habits are negative. Then we have to invite our team to join us. Let's invite them to join you on this journey of growth and evolution as a person in a relationship with them, and then as the evolving system of the family. And that's where a lot of projects come in with your kids, just letting them know, hey, I'm vulnerable. I don't know how to do this. Can you teach me how to do this? Can you help me with this? Like really, empathetically understand that, they want to help. So can you help me with this? Being vulnerable. So the family as a business or a generational wealth is that the family is an evolving system and everything we have is going to go into our kids and then they're going to carry it on. And so we want to be able to ensure, some people die today, tomorrow, they leave all that money to the kids and it's blown up in like a year because they didn't understand the value. They were integrated into the family as an evolving system. We did everything. We managed everything. We grew everything. They were not a part of its evolution. And so they don't own it. So this is about helping through relationship building and authentic parenting, building our family as an evolving system. And this will help to restore a lot of families. This will help to safeguard our families and safeguard our generations. And this is where we create a lot of family projects, where everybody and their strength and what they're good at can bring something to the table. And because that's a part of building the family. So then it's not just something mommy or daddy does or guardians do, but it's something that we all do. This belongs to us. The house belongs to us. It's mine, not mine as in I'm entitled to it because I can be entitled, don't get it. But mine in terms of I've contributed. I've raked the leaves, the value of raking the leaves. I understand the value I put in it, the value of painting, the value. I've understood the value that comes with it. It's not just mommy and daddy paying mortgage, but I've been contributing and I understand my contribution and the value of this home and the value of this space in that way. And so that's the family as an evolving system. So what are the key takeaways? We went through them, but we want to repeat them. Evolve yourself first. Respect is earned. Small shifts, big gains. Grow and build wealth. And wealth is what is valuable to us all, right? So your next steps is write one action for you and write one action for your team. So this is one thing I think I need to do for me to grow and have a better relationship with my millennial. And then this is one action that I want to see them, whether it's to read more or whatever, but then I'm going to have to model it. So maybe we'll have some reading time or reading competition or something. We'll find ways. Ask them, like they are the experts. They understand. Give them a scenario about a mother struggling with a child who doesn't read enough, and how could she get that child to read more, and use up their own expertise. So that's your next step. So thank you for listening, and I hope that you'll find this mini course very enriching for you and your parenting experience. Follow us on Authentic Parenting, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and just come do our course. Use up our services. This is 25 years, going on 30 years of expertise. And we want to be able to impact you so that you can build stronger relationships with your children and stronger families for a stronger future. Thank you. Remember, I am TanYah Global.